Hey everyone, in this video I want to show you how rejection is actually a good thing, especially in the realm of relationships. And yet, I know a lot of us are afraid of being rejected when it comes to dating, because we often take rejection as meaning that the person doesn't like us or that they find us wanting, and therefore we have areas that we need to work on. Well, for one thing, you can easily change your mindset around rejection by realizing that when somebody rejects you early into a relationship, they're not rejecting you. They don't know you well enough to reject you. Instead, they're rejecting who they believe you to be. I mean, if you've been dating someone for 3 months, 6 months, even a year, they don't fully know you. That person, when they reject you, doesn't actually know the real you. So they aren't actually rejecting the true you. So don't take it personally and act like they are, because they don't know you. They can't reject you in that regard. They can only reject who they believe you to be. So don't take it personally. But beyond that, rejection, if it's not going to work with someone, rejection is pretty much inevitable. It's going to happen at some point. Either you will reject them or they will reject you, and it will take the form of a breakup. So, if something isn't meant to last, wouldn't you prefer it to end sooner rather than later? Because the further it gets prolonged, the more it's going to hurt. You see, so many of us will hide our authentic selves in order to avoid rejection at the beginning phases of a relationship. But then, because we were inauthentic, we get rejected maybe months or years down the road because the first person finally realizes who we truly are, and it turns out we're incompatible. Why would you want to be rejected years down the road as opposed to maybe a few months into the relationship? Because now, I wouldn't say that you wasted all that time, but you certainly could have spent it going after people who are far more compatible with you. But you can only find that out if you're authentic from the very beginning of the relationship. So the first date. Be authentic from the first date. Yes, it means that you'll get rejected more often, but like I said, it avoids that prolonged eventual rejection. Because if something's not going to last, it's only a matter of time before that rejection occurs. It's going to happen. Heck, I've been in situations where I knew that time was limited with a woman that I was dating. I knew it was limited. I knew it was going to end. Literally knew it in the back of my mind. And yet, I still kind of tried to avoid it as much as I could. I tried to prolong it. And, of course, it ended up ending. And I feel like there are many situations where we feel that. We kind of know something is going to end. In those cases, definitely don't try to prolong it, because it only hurts more. Now, if you actually have the goal of just having fun and not taking things seriously, that's one thing. But you have to be clear about it in the back of your mind. You don't want to fall into the trap of lying to yourself and telling yourself that you're okay with something that's non-committal when you actually want that. You never want to lie to yourself. It makes it hurt so much more. So if you want a committed relationship with someone, do not get into anything that is just carefree or a friends with benefits situation. Don't do that. If you're looking for a relationship, only go after people who want the same thing as you. Otherwise, it's just going to hurt you more. So that's an important thing. Make sure you're on the same page. And then, as much as you can, be your authentic self. Allow rejection to occur, because it's always better for it to happen sooner rather than later. Do not lie to that person about who you really are. And when you're authentic and honest, it usually invites the other person to be that way themselves, so that you can decide whether or not you actually like them. We often fall into the trap of wanting to make the other person like us, but we never stop and think whether or not we actually like the other person. Because you may find that they're not who you want to be with long term. But if you're only focused on them liking you, then you're never going to realize that. So focus on how much you like them, as well as being authentic to yourself. and making sure that you're just not giving them a version of you that isn't true to who you actually are. Doing this will save you so much time and pain in the long run. It's always worth it. So, as much as possible, invite rejection into your life. It isn't a bad thing. It saves you time and it helps you level up in life far more quickly than anything else. Anyway, I hope this video helped you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Arrivederci!